Early life and education. Captain Ibrahim Traoré was born in 1988 in the town of Bondekui, located in the Muhon province of western Burkina Faso. From a young age, he was known for his intelligence, sense of duty, and strong leadership abilities. He pursued higher education at the University of Ouagadougou, where he studied fundamental and applied geology, graduating in 2009. But it wasn't academia that would define his path, it was the call to serve his country in a more direct and physical way. Military training and rise through the ranks. In 2010, Traoré entered the Georges Nomono Military Academy IMPA, a prestigious institution known for producing many of Burkina Faso's elite officers. He was recognized for his discipline and tactical skill, graduating second in his class. After graduation, he quickly rose through the ranks due to his performance on the battlefield. Traoré served primarily in the northern and central regions of Burkina Faso, where the country was, and still is, engaged in a brutal struggle against Islamist insurgent groups linked to Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Combat experience and leadership. Burkina Faso has faced growing insecurity since around 2015, when jihadist violence began spilling over from neighboring Mali. Villages were attacked, civilians were massacred, and entire regions fell out of government control. Brilliance and bravery. He led numerous operations against insurgents, including a critical mission in 2020 to liberate the town of Basalogo. During this mission, his unit navigated treacherous terrain laden with IEDs, improvised explosive devices, to free the town from jihadist control. This operation earned him significant respect among soldiers and citizens alike. Unlike many higher-ranking officers, Traoré remained close to his troops and often participated directly in combat missions. His humble demeanor, refusal to seek comfort in luxury, and deep loyalty to the people made him admired far beyond the ranks of the military. The political crisis and coup of 2022. By 2022, Burkina Faso was in turmoil. President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore had been overthrown in a coup in January 2022, led by Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, who promised to restore security. However, conditions only worsened under Damiba's leadership. Many within the military, especially junior officers like Traoré, were disillusioned with Damiba's leadership. They believed he was out of touch, overly dependent on international powers, and failing to stem the tide of jihadist expansion. Some suspected him of prioritizing political ambition over genuine security reforms. On September 30, 2022, Captain Traoré led a second coup, ousting Damiba and taking control. The coup was swift and met with minimal resistance, largely due to Traoré's popularity among the armed forces and the growing desperation of the population. At just 34 years old, he became the youngest head of state in the world. Vision for Burkina Faso and military reform. After assuming power, Traoré declared his intention to break with past systems of governance that had failed the Burkinabe people. He pledged to strengthen national sovereignty, remove foreign military bases seen as ineffective or politically intrusive, reform and modernize the national defense system, empower local defense groups and better integrate them with the national army, prioritize food security and self-sufficiency in parallel with military objectives. He began increasing the recruitment of soldiers and veteran volunteer fighters, investing in drone surveillance, better weaponry, and logistical capabilities. Traoré's vision emphasized Pan-African solidarity, rejecting neocolonial interference and advocating for African nations to take responsibility for their own security. A military hero and symbol of resistance. Ibrahim Traoré has become more than just a political or military leader, he has become a symbol of resistance and sovereignty for many in Burkina Faso and across Francophone West Africa. His youth, military background, and fierce independence have earned him admiration, especially among the region's youth, who see him as a break from the aging elites who have long dominated African politics. Despite the challenges, ongoing violence, economic difficulties, and diplomatic tensions, Traoré has continued to focus on national unity, grassroots mobilization, and military resilience. He is often seen wearing his uniform, rarely appearing in the suit and entourages typical of African leaders, reinforcing his image as a soldier for the people. Legacy in the making. While his presidency is still ongoing and complex, Ibrahim Traoré's reputation as a military hero is already deeply etched into the modern history of Burkina Faso. His journey from a geology student to a battlefield commander, then coup leader, and finally head of state, reflects a rare mix of courage, principle, and revolutionary spirit. His story is still unfolding, and whether he will fully succeed in bringing peace and lasting change remains to be seen. But for now, Captain Ibrahim Traoré stands as a defiant figure in a region searching for hope and security. Captain Traoré's foreign policy has marked a departure from Burkina Faso's historical alliances. In January 2023, he ordered the withdrawal of French troops from the country, signaling a shift away from former colonial influences. Subsequently, Burkina Faso has sought closer ties with Russia, culminating in the reopening of the Russian embassy in July 2023 and the deployment of Russian troops, including the Wagner Group, in January 2024. This realignment reflects a broader sentiment in the Sahel region, where countries are increasingly looking for alternatives to traditional Western partnerships. However, this shift has raised concerns among international observers regarding the implications for human rights and regional stability. Also under his leadership, Burkina Faso's GDP grew from $18.8 billion to $22.1 billion. Traoré implemented significant fiscal reforms, including paying off local debts and reducing salaries for ministers and parliamentarians by 30%, while increasing civil servants' wages by 50%. One of his landmark initiatives was the establishment of the country's first gold refinery, aiming to add value to Burkina Faso's gold resources domestically. Additionally, he suspended the export of unrefined gold to Europe, seeking to curb illicit trade and ensure that the nation's wealth benefited its citizens. Captain Ibrahim Traoré's ascent to power represents a significant shift in Burkina Faso's political landscape. His focus on sovereignty, economic independence, and strategic realignment has resonated with many Burkinabe and Africans at large. As he navigates the complexities of governance, security, and international relations, the coming years will be pivotal in shaping the nation's path forward.